Hi guys, this is Chriselle back with Psychic MD, and I want to talk a little bit more about the next chakra, and that is going to be the heart chakra, the fourth chakra. And when I was doing a little bit of research, I've actually never noticed that the number 4 pertains to the heart chakra. So I don't know about you, but I've been seeing 4s quite a bit lately. Now, I wanted to share with you also this, literally, this beauty. She's got a little hole in her heart right here, but I'm told that that is deemed lucky. I just think it's so cool. This is polychrome jasper, I believe. Anyways, so that is a stone that I meditate with when I want to focus on my heart chakra, but I wanted to address things that we don't think about that really pertain to that chakra, because when I read this, I was a little bit surprised, okay? Anger, envy, jealousy, and disgust were all listed under having a problem with the heart chakra. Judgment was something that I noticed came up quite frequently. So we get disgusted with other people, and that comes from being a judgmental standpoint. Fear intimacy, jealousy, feeling like you don't have enough, being oversensitive. Again, I'm guilty of that as well. Defensive, shut down, isolated. Not just because of quarantine. I am definitely someone who isolates by nature. So I don't really know. It comes from a lack of trust. Unforgiving, and let's see, victim or a hero. So you've got to focus on being a victim or the hero, and those can all be directly traced to having a problem with your heart chakra. Okay, so once again, we're addressing the energy centers. I don't know if we've had a problem lately, but with anger, I know I personally been really sensitive. My chakras are all out of alignment, I can tell. So it's time to get back on that horse and line everything up and move forward. So here we go. I wanted to go ahead and pull some cards for collective as to why we're having heart chakra problems, okay? Being out of balance with our heart chakra. What's going on, please, for anyone and everyone who may be watching, who may or may not have an interest in this at all? What's going on, please, with this heart chakra? Oh, hi. Okay. I tried to half the cards and pull just a card, but this one literally flipped and it would not let me do anything else. So I'm going to take it, and it's the world. And obviously, everybody knows what's going on with the world. We're having all a hard time with the coronavirus and people who are fighting about masks and no mask, and open businesses and don't open them and keep them shut, and people losing their livelihoods and some people losing their lives. The election just finally ended today, and that has been crazy. It's been crazy. Right here, I see a keyhole, and it's with the sun. I feel like collectively we're all like, okay, when does the sun come out to play again? And I live in Arizona. I don't mean the sun in a literal way. Definitely figuratively, I'm not ready for any more 100 degrees. We've had enough this year, over 100 degrees. But anyways, I digress. I just really wanted to talk to you about the world and the state that we're in and the chaos and how that's really made us isolated. A lot of people under quarantine, a lot of people under self-quarantine, other people are under strict orders by the government. So I don't know where you're at, your situationship right there, but we're feeling like, there's not enough. We're feeling shut down, literally shut down. How about the world being shut down? Everything just kind of ended. The big apocalypse is here almost. And so that has our chakras just in shock and also shut down. So I'm not trying to make light of it, but I do want to point out that while we're looking for a keyhole right here, the sun is cut off actually. And this is number 21, which adds up to a 3. For me, a 3 is all about cooperation, collaboration, getting people to work with you, and all of us working as a team together. Now, that is super idealistic in my opinion, but one can hope. So, yeah. So we're going to leave that down. See what else. What else do we need to know? What's going on with us as far as the heart chakra being affected and things of the world, basically, really affecting us? Can we know more about this, please? Queen of Earth. We long for simpler times. We are desiring, and what's the obstacle at this point is that feeling of peace, that feeling of just homegrown, of stability, of things are just okay right now, and calm and peaceful and natural. I feel like things do not feel natural. They're very forced, and yeah, I think I'll just stick with that and not say much else about it. But they're very forced, and it doesn't feel very organic. The world that we live in today, this minute, does not feel very organic. And so a lot of us are like wishing and longing. It's like, gosh, I just want to walk in the park and not think about, and take my kids out and not have an issue with, and go take a vacation with my family and unwind a little. And all these things that we desire is just more salt of the earth. I don't see like fast cars here, and a desire for, new bags and new hair and new clothes and all that. We just want things that really make us feel rooted and grounded. And this connects us back, of course, to the heart chakra. One thing that I did want to mention before I forget, as far as colors go, green is so easily obtained as far as like clothing, things like that. I think it's an easy color to wear. And once again, it's one of my favorite colors. One of the ones that I actively do, because yellow I'm not such a fan of. It's hard for me to wear yellow. But I do wear it around the house for those purposes. Now, when I select green, I just kind of think in my head, okay, with this green top, I am really opening up my heart chakra. This is my intention so that I can grow, allow myself to love, have that joy, and thrive again. So that's how I wear it, with intention. Of course, you do whatever it is you feel led to do, however you feel led to do it. And once again, here, the Empress, this is about creating, getting into that creative mode, creating, feeling like we want cooperation here. I almost missed it. She is a number 3. It's pretty obvious. So number 3 goes back to that first card that we pulled, the 21, that boils down to a 3. And it does talk about cooperation, about creation, creating, inspiring. And I just want to say that this has more to do with our personal contribution to what's being created in our own lives. I think it is definitely a time to obviously get creative, for things to grow, to feel like we are abundant again. And I think that's really been difficult for a lot of us at this point, which is, why we're in fear. I mean, it talked about fear of intimacy, and I had to laugh because I'm like, yeah, coronavirus. And the big joke now is you have to wear, a mask during all of your, intimate, whatever you want to call it, whenever you're intimate with somebody. But anyways, I wanted just to talk about this. It's like we're waiting for our harvest, and a little bit like we're clinging to our harvest as well. It's like, well, we have this, we don't want to let it go. We don't know if it's going to grow anymore. And, not too long ago, people were hoarding toilet paper and water and all sorts of things that made us feel really insecure and just shook us. So we could be feeling overly defensive, unforgiving, fear of intimacy. We don't want to get close to people. Looking at each other with suspicion, for sure. I noticed that. I'm suspicious by nature. I think I tend to look at people suspiciously anyways. So, and it's not funny, but kind of. I tend to be of the cloth of, I'm going to check you out a long time before I pull the trigger on anything. But that's just me. So, The next card we get is the Ten of Earth. Once again, this is talking about stability. So we want to feel stable and rooted. And I feel like that's been shutting down our heart, is just feeling like the world isn't stable around us. We want, and I have this wolf right here, we want the loyalty. We want that loyalty, that long-term loyalty, that things are going to work out, the security that we all crave, that we need to feel free to, that we can open up our heart chakra and stuff like that, okay? That we can open ourselves up to peace. That was one big thing. Peace, acceptance, joy, authenticity is a really big thing. I didn't know that that was an attribute of your heart chakra being aligned properly. So ability to accept and see beauty around you. And I think that goes back to not being critical, not being judgmental about things, and just really living in the moment and being a salt of the earth and appreciating. I don't know why I'm like wiggly all over the place right now, but anyways, so that's what I have. So how do we really counteract this? How do we get our heart chakras in alignment? I already had one flip. All right, it's a Two of Air. It's a Two of Air, and typically we notice this in stalemates. We're not making a decision. We need to get our heart in check, our heart in alignment. And indeed, actually, the Two of Swords pertains directly to protecting your heart, by the way. Those of you guys that read, you know that. So here she is contemplating things on a very deep level. She is naked from the waist up, I think, yes, and flipped backwards. Of course, you can only see her back, and she's holding two birds here, and I feel like you're waiting for your internal messages. You're at a stalemate, and this is a good time for a pause. The world is in a pause. It's almost like we stop breathing, and when you breathe, like you suck all the air up, because we've stopped breathing collectively in a lot of different ways. So that's what this is about. There is a ton of emotion behind her. You can't see, but it seems to me like waves, like when waves crash, there's a big like chemical reaction of two swords crashing, and waves are everywhere. So there's a lot of emotion, but we're holding our emotions in. I think some of us are learning how to play poker for the first time with our lives and with our emotions collectively. So something about having to weigh things in and make a decision and be patient and protect your heart, okay? So the way to properly do this, to navigate this and get your heart chakra in balance, is the Hermit. Retreat, reevaluate, take a look at what's transpired within your own inner walls. I see keys up here, and these are keys that lead me back to the sun, wanting to unlock everything and open it up, okay? Opening things up so that we can actually have abundance again. The Hermit talks about retreating, just like the Two of Swords in many ways. It's self-isolation, and it seems like this reading is just talking about all the opposite. Like, let's do the negative qualities of imbalanced heart chakra. But I feel in this case, it's like, go within yourself. We have the time right now. Some of us are not able to work. Some of us just don't have jobs right now. Some of us quit our jobs, whatever the case may be. Or some of us are really out there working every single day. And as far as workload, it has not changed. Maybe it's gotten even increasing pressure because of the world around us. And you're still at it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could take a break. So I've been at those two different phases. But it's important to go within, because here you're going to find your own light. You're going to find many keys that are going to open up different doors to be able to help unlock what is actually in your heart. If you don't have a soft heart that's willing to receive and like even recognize and accept beauty, it's going to be really difficult to move forward, okay? So that heart chakra, it's explained to me that heart chakra is like a wheel, basically, by your heart. And it's lining up all of the chakras, right? But it's in the middle. The first three are on top, on the bottom, and the last three on top. And so, let me just bring my trusty little illustrator right here. So if you look here, the heart chakra separates all of them. This looks yellow on the screen, but it's green. Colors. So if your heart chakra is out of alignment, the problem with that, outside of the obvious problems, is that even if you have everything else in alignment, that is a big blockage that nothing can travel up, and higher things cannot travel down. And so all that energy needs to be uniform and unstuck. Okay, it's also been mentioned that if you have a blocked heart chakra, you are emotionally stunted and constipated, which is an interesting way to see things. Just putting it out there. So, how else? Going within and pulling little gems. Oh my gosh, I just mixed them and I pulled the same cards. All right, Hermit, I hear you. You have to go within. You have to go within. There is no way around it. This is a time of transformation, so we have to go within ourselves. And take a look. Oh my goodness. Take a look at what has transpired in the past that has brought you to this point. You know, were you even working a job that you loved? Were you living a life that you loved? This is the time to make those changes now, when we're all holding our breath, waiting for the next step, waiting for the wheel to turn once again in our favor, or for progress to resume, I'm gonna say. But going in hermit mode and pulling those keys, I would even write 5 things down if you want practical homework, and 5 things down that you're emotionally shut off about. Like for me, romance, I'm just romantically blocked. I can't say can't, but I've chosen not to be open with my heart towards anybody in many, many years. So, you know, anybody even approaching, things like that, it's kind of out of the question now because of where I'm at. So writing those things down and how to overcome those blockages, recognizing them, is all going to really help. I just realized, a light issue. Okay. Anyway, so the sun is coming out to let you know that yes, you are heard, you are seen. This has come out in other readings as well, but you know, the sun is extremely powerful. Everything rotates around it. At least that's what we're told now. It seems like once in a while we get these new discoveries. And they're like, well, this is a planet. No, it's not. This isn't. So whatever the case may be. But you know what? The point of the matter is that you are definitely going to be noticed when you start embracing more what your true heart's commitment, contentment is, joy. Your authenticity, I feel like, has so much to do with it, because this is all about your personal power and being authentic as well. So I feel like one chakra ties into the other easily. Okay. And the last card that I'm getting for this, for those of us that are struggling with our heart chakras, it's okay to be a little bit, I guess, guarded, but recognize you're standing on high ground. You can see everything below you. Any attacks, you can just kind of pivot and see everything coming at you. So don't worry so much. You have clear vision is what I'm getting. And there is really big changes. I'm also getting that by the time we're done, like changing and growing from this collective pause, I'm going to call it, you're going to be like a unicorn as well. So you already are. I just don't feel like you recognize that energy. So I think that's really cool. It's like we all want to be unicorns in one way or another. So with that, I hope that that was a little bit helpful. If not helpful, I hope it was at least amusing. And namaste. Thank you so much.